Happy Sunday morning, y'all. It's already hot. We're supposed to get 94 today. Could hit 101 heat index. So y'all are going to spend the weekend, or should I say Sunday, all day with Buddy and I. So let's start with the garden. Let's see how it's progressing. We're going to do a dry pour on one side of the wood shop that he's been building on. And we're also going to cook a slab of salmon that our good friends gifted us. They went to Alaska, right? Yes. So they gifted us some salmon. So we're going to cook that together. So I'm going to turn it around. As hot as it is, I can't believe I'm showing y'all a fall garden with triple digits. This is crazy. Look at these zinnias. Remember, I took those little bitty ones that I saw sprouting up, and they're filling the bucket up. We're going to start at the first hoop tunnel, and that's what I'm calling it. I did reseed radishes yesterday. We've harvested about 12 out of here, so I did seed some more. Here is our cabbage. I am out of my Captain Jack's powder. I do have the liquid, but I've not been a fan of it. So I'm on the hunt for the Captain Jack's powder. So far, I've not been successful. So if y'all run across it, let me know. And I need to talk about this straw. I didn't go and purchase this. There's a story behind this straw. So hopefully I won't forget to share that. But everything's doing good. On the other side, we have our collards. This is Georgia collards. Of course, we would never harvest till we get a frost. That would be yucky, yucky. But y'all, look at these purple top turnips. And I'm talking about they are making a beautiful turnip bulb. If I can, well, I can't get the camera down. Here's one y'all can see. Look at that. I would love to eat some tops, but there again, we haven't had a frost. So I may trim them because that's just going to allow them to bush out. Here's that new variety called Champion Collard. I had found these at Louisiana Nursery. I got 4 of them. And they are definitely a little different from the Georgia Collard as far as the leaves. And they seem they seem softer. So they may not be as thick. Our Detroit beets, I did seed yesterday right in here, but they're doing great. And we'll start here. I seeded Detroit beets here. The celery is starting to do a lot better, guys. A lot better. I started some kale over here. And in these 3 buckets are Brussels sprouts. And then we come down here, and I did start some carrots. I've got to water again this evening. So probably in 3-4 more days, I'm going to check it and get that cardboard off. Uh-oh, the sun's getting y'all. But this is all of our broccoli. All the way down. They're doing great, guys. Then we get down to the radishes. A lot of germination. And right here, I seeded yesterday. I did icicle radishes on this side. Okay, friends. Remember the 2 oreganos? Here's one, and here's one. I did repot them and trim them. I'm talking about I really trimmed them. They got a heck of a haircut. But you're also going to see new addition to the garden. We finally got these, or should I say I finally got around to the bluebeards. Now, we've got one here, and I put one down here. Guys, this is a perennial for my area. They bloom from spring to frost, the first frost. And I'm going to tell you what, if you guys can grow these in your area, I highly recommend, because I don't think I've ever seen any plant other than the butterfly bush to bring in the bees. I mean, you literally had to swipe the bees off of them to get them out of the bucket. They'll get up to 3 feet tall, to 2 feet wide. So they're going to do fine in the buckets, and I am going to leave them here and here. Here's our contenders. You'll see Captain Jack's on them as well. I'm trying to get to where the sun is not cascading on the beds. But guys, I've never seen a bush bean with tendrils like it was a running bean. Here's a fine example right there. Now this is supposed to be a bush. Well, it doesn't look like a bush, but hey, I'll take it. Here's the bed that the oregano came out of. So we will be, between now and spring, dismantling this, using the dirt, and burning the frame. If I stand over here in the shade, we can get a look at the mint. Remember, I trimmed it all the way down to 2 inches above the soil, and I did the lemon balm as well. It needed it. They both did. I'm trying to work with the sun, guys, but I did bring my starts out here yesterday morning, and as you can see, we've even had more germination. So I'm very, very pleased with this. But look, remember the red Creole onions had not germinated last Sunday? Look what they've done in 1 week. I do believe there's only 3 that did not germinate. So they might have been slow, but look at them. And then here is our 1015s. And I've got 100% germination. Here's some more celery in its spot from last year. Buddy surprised me. He said, honey, you've been worried about your celery, so here you go. So he bought me 2 6-packs, I believe. Or was that 4 packs? 6. So I planted 12 more celery in this bed, along with this funny looking straw. We wanted to know what color, Mom? Well, here we go. It's that violet color. Guys, I'm about to sweat down, and I'm in one of the greenhouses, but I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you this straw. This straw was year before last. We had a lot of that rain, and we were desperate to block the water that was running into the chicken run and move it out. Well, I found this for $7 at Tractor Supply. I bought 2 bales. I only used 1. We were not happy with it. I mean, it worked, but it was kind of a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. So yesterday I told Bud, I said, I am out of my bedding. He said, we got that straw out in the shed. I said, what straw? So we went out there. Sure enough, we had one. I won't use this whole compressed bag, but I'm going to show you what it is. It does make a mess, so get ready to sweep or blow. But it's safe to add bedding around my plants. Now the camera is going to be held a little cockeyed, but it's certified straw. It's called Grab and Go Compressed Bale. It is certified weed free. Right there. It is compostable. Easy cleanup, biodegradable, great for chicken coops. But I didn't like the dust. You can see all the dust in there. And that's fine, because what I'm using it for this year, it's not going to bother me, because guys, this was bought 2 years ago. So why go and buy something when I have something that'll work? Y'all hear, buddy? He said it's hot up in that greenhouse. We have 2 vermiculite bags. Oh, one of them sprung a hole.
Both.
Oh, excuse me, both. So when we went to pick one up, well, y'all know what happened. Everything out the bottom. So we've been scooping it up, putting it in big bags. These orange bags that we have, which is fine, but it creates a mess. But I'm going to show y'all the carrots if I don't get wet. We are still 7 weeks now, 7 or 8 weeks, no rain.
I cut it off till you get through.
Oh, okay. I believe 7 or 8 weeks. There is no rain nowhere in the forecast for us till possibly the end of the month. So we are having to water. We did end up losing, and we tried not to. We worked hard last year. Now, this summer was not as hot as last summer, but I don't think we watered like we should have when the faucets from the sky turned off. So we did lose the other apple tree. We're not going to replant apples. Obviously, it's not meant. But we did lose a plum and a peach. We've got enough plum trees that he has rooted. We can do that fine. I will have to buy a peach tree. I really wanted that peach. But what's going to go in place of the apples, I'm trying to find pineapple pears. They do exist, but I've not had any luck. I've signed up 2 years in a row with Louisiana Ag Nursery. Name on the list. And then you call, oh yeah, they're sold out. Well, they're skipping over my name. So obviously there's particular names that they hone in on. That's just my assumption. You know what assumption does. So let's go look at the carrots. I'm pretty sad about my fruit trees. But you know what? If that's all we've lost and everything that has been thrown at us since the 1st of May, I give grace to glory. I really, really do. It could have been worse. So let's go look at the carrots. And here are the carrots. I'm so glad he turned that sprinkler off. Matter of fact, I might have told him just to leave them on. Okay, remember when I had to reseed with them old seeds? Look, I'm starting to see germination. But they really are doing great, guys. I'm surprised. And I didn't do bad keeping them separated, but I do see where I'll have to do a little bit of weeding. I reseeded here. Remember, I didn't cover or do anything. I don't see any germination in this corner. So, we're still on the fence with it. But here you go. And let's get around here. So it looks like the Carrata and the Danvers is what's shining. Can y'all tell what's been added? Look at this, guys. I've got my bench. And he did have some corner pieces that was sitting over in our pile. He cut them, painted them black to finish it off. Because we had the cedar planks. But he got around to squaring it completely off. So now I can sit here and work my strawberries, work my carrots, or whatever I've got planted in those last 2 beds. And here's Buddy's buckets. He put 3 broccoli in this bucket, 3 Brussels sprouts, and I believe this is, what is this? This is cauliflower. I had to look. And then the other 2 are some cabbage. So he's got him a little section going over here. I saved the best for last. I am thrilled. But he finished the garden shed, meaning he got it painted and got it trimmed. It looks amazing. A lot of spray paint on some stuff, but hey, it works. And I even have some decor that we've had for umpteen years, bud. Umpteen years. So, look what he did for Lippy. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? He painted it with our leftover paint we had. Here is the decor. Here's the handles. A lot of spray paint, guys. And isn't it fantastic? He even put some little cute cuts of wood, if that's what you call it. So here we go, standing back from it. Let's go to the side where my sink is. And I said, where'd you get that black brush? He said, that's your ugly blue one. I painted it. I've got a little shelf here to add my soap and whatever I want. And he hung a saw up here. So you see the thing. We're showcasing things that mean a lot to us. He even got the backside trimmed out. We've got some tools hanging. And we used to keep tools hanging off the back. And I'm not sure that he's going to put them back up. Unless he's going to use the top ridge. But see, you can walk in like an L shape to the back side of the figs. So there's the garden update. I'm going to get us some green tea over ice so we can cool down. And we're finishing up and we will head to the woodshed. And we promised you guys the dry pour and we're going to do the small side. And then this afternoon, early evening, we're going to cook salmon together and show you how we do it. And we do cook it on cedar planks. Bud, are you going to do cedar planks again? Are you going to cook the salmon on cedar?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to bring you along for that. So it's going to be a fun-filled, hot day with Lippy and Buddy. What he's doing is he's leveling it out where the frame board's going to go, because there is actually a natural fall, so he is following that so water will run off. Okay, he got through with the tiller. Well, what he's doing now is he's, with his eyeballs, setting grade. It's high on this end where he wants it, and it's low on this end. But I just asked him and he said it's a little bit still too high. So he is raking and shoveling it out to make sure his grade falls. You see how he throws that dirt out? So that's where we're at this point.
Then start laying it in there. Leave it a little high, and I'll get several bags in here. I'll do about 6 foot at a time. That way I can work in here instead of just from the outside.
Right. Now,
because I got to screed this across.
I asked him, why was there a gap here? And explain why was there a gap.
All right, when this slab was poured, there's a rough edge. And right behind her, you can look, you'll see.
Let me turn y'all around.
On the ground there, you see pieces of concrete stuck out.
Right.
That's where it went under the form boards. So it's just rough there, you know.
He's talking about right here.
It's actually below the pour. So what I do is I'll pour this and then I'll take those foam boards out and I can pour that gap. There's about a 8 or 10 inch gap back there. So once this is done, it sets up. Then I can pour the back and I can just hand trowel it right off the slab here. This has all got a fall from right here where you see the inside
right
to the outside. There's about a 3/4 to 1 inch natural fall. And then from here, going that way, to back to your left, all the way to the other end, that has a natural fall, and I imagine it's 2 inches, 1.5 inches. Well,
really?
I didn't really want to, per se, I didn't need it level, okay, that level. And any rain that blows in, I want it to run right out. So it's not going to have a problem. It's going to go right there to that natural ditch. And so we're dry pouring. Everybody say, well, why you want to dry pour? Well, I haven't done a whole lot of dry pouring, I'm going to tell you. But the advantage of is when you are me, myself, and I, and you're doing this, time is of the essence when you are trying to mix it. A lot of people don't have mixers also, so you're doing it in a wheelbarrow with a hoe or a shovel. And it's bad enough toting the bags, let alone trying to stay ahead of it, setting up before you can get to the next chunk of pour. I don't want a whole bunch of boards, separation joints in it, so pour it dry, screed it off, start moistening it, and just let it start pulling the moisture in.
And what I'm going to do is
we're not driving on it anyway.
Right.
Just going to walk on it. So,
but I'm
1.5 inches.
I'm going to set the tripod up. That way y'all can watch each step, because many of you have asked, and I promised that I was going to film how we are going to dry pour. Now, will it be correct to some eyes? Maybe not. But it's correct for us. So
I did come in here with a screed bowl before we started and went all the way down just to make sure. You know, if it's a little deep, okay, use a little more concrete. But if it's too shallow, I didn't want to get to a spot and then, okay, well, I got a spot of dirt here in the middle. So I went and checked that first all the way down, make sure I got at least 1.5 inches. Some spots is 2. I'm not real concerned with it. Need to, I'll run get a few more bags of concrete.
But what he means by that is he used a 2x4
as a screed.
As a screed. So, all right, let me set y'all up.
You'll see in a little while when we screed this out.
Yeah. That looks smooth over on that other side.
Yeah, that's smooth enough. See how down there, there's none in front of the board?
Yes.
Now look behind, watch.
Okay.
Look behind the board, see it?
Yeah.
So if you don't have enough,
that's what happens?
It's gonna leave little holes in it.
Oh, okay.
But remember, we're not trying to get a kitchen floor finish. Oh, concrete.
So what you do is you put some over on those little bitty holes. Got you. Okay. Now, guys, I would be down there helping him with that, but I can't be on the other end because there's a wall there that's breaking it. Had it just been an open square, I would have been on the other side. But when he gets tired, Lippy can take over.
Yeah.
And this is what we call working with what you got. And guys, at the end of the day, you work with what you got. It don't matter who's doing it differently. What matters is you're doing it to the best of your ability and what you are able to do.
I can bet you one thing.
What's that?
It's gonna be better than that mud you stand on.
Oh, ain't that the doggone truth? So you're adding plywood
So it stays
first,
flat.
so it stays flat.
Well, where I can reach back in here.
Got you. Makes sense.
But if I just kneel on it, I'm gonna leave a big deep print in it.
Got you. Now, guys, he's not put any water on this. He is just troweling it. He is smoothing it out. Can y'all see the difference? This is where he has just dumped the concrete, and this is where he is troweling and smoothing it out. Okay, guys, he's got it all the way poured or troweled. Now it's time to start misting the water on. And you definitely want to mist, he said.
Yeah, this one here's got it.
Whoops, I might have got you the wrong sprayer.
No, I got the other one. I'm just wanting to see if it gets stopped, a little bit stopped up, it'll blow too hard. I don't want to leave a bunch of marks in it. I just want to lightly wet the surface so that it all gets there so the dust don't.
Y'all see now, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to let y'all see. This is barely misting.
But you see it's changing colors.
Yeah, I'm
getting
standing
wet.
back. You can see it getting wet. Now he's going to wet the whole thing, and he's going to do this every 30 minutes.
About 4 or 5 times at least.
4 or 5 times at least. And will you resume tomorrow wetting it or no, after tonight?
Yeah, you can to make it cure slow.
Okay.
The wetter you keep it, the slower it cures. There goes the guard cat.
Yep. So while he is doing this, like I said, we're not going to leave you hanging, but we may end up with part 2 on just the concrete. But we're about to go in and get our supper going. And I'm going to tell y'all now, I forgot to soak the cedar plank, so supper's going to be cooked in the oven. So let's go and do that while he's putting the first mist on it. We're in the kitchen, and I am dog tired. Mr. Buddy's worse. So when I said, oh, I've got to get supper going, I looked at the clock. Y'all, I always soak our piece of cedar, because we have 2 cedar trees out there, not treated. And he'll cut a piece off. Well, I always soak it for an hour. Time's not on our side, so we're going to do the salmon in the oven. But you can follow the same method, only if you want it on a cedar plank, soak your cedar in the sink, set some weight on it for about an hour. You know, and you don't need a thick piece, but you definitely need it to soak up some water. So the first thing I'm going to do, he's wetting the concrete, is we're going to get our potatoes going. I normally like to use the little round Yukons or the mixed colors in this dish, but I don't have any. What I had was russet potatoes. So that's what we're going to use. I have 4 small ones. So I'm going to drop the camera and I'm going to show you how I cook our potatoes in a rice cooker. We love them that way. And then we'll have some steamed mixed vegetables with our salmon. We're going to make it easy because I got to edit this video. So guys, if it posts, it's going to post late tonight. Forgive me. We started this at 7:30 this morning. It's 4:50 in the evening, Sunday evening. And so we've got till about 9 o'clock to keep wetting the concrete. So you probably won't see any more of that, of him just misting it. But the next video that we do on the dry pour, we will show how he's taking the frame off and doing that back piece. So you're not going to miss anything. But I hope I did justice to you guys that asked, how do we dry pour? So now it's on to the potatoes. We're starving, y'all. This is the size of the potatoes. We don't want them any smaller than that because I don't want them to mush. And that's a perfect amount for Buddy and I. This is optional, but I'm going to go in with just a half of an onion. I had to cut around the bad parts. The first thing I'm going to do is coat the potatoes and onion in some olive oil. And I may have to go open another bottle. Look at that, guys. But we're going to get every drop. I'm going to apologize for the noise, but I've got to stir these potatoes and onions around with this oil. And this is my favorite spoon for my rice cooker. You're going to season to taste, and I'm keeping it simple. Salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Let's give this a good toss. But we're not through. We're going to add butter way later. Now, if y'all are familiar with the rice pot, you know you have to hit the button like that. And then when it gets ready to cook your rice to start steaming, this button will click up. But I'm going to actually put the button down, back down, and then stir, and it'll start crispy in the potatoes and still steaming the inside. Look at all them bones, guys. But we are good. Now, there will be still some in this rib, but we're fine with that because we'll flake the salmon off. But you definitely want to get these out. I'm going to scoop some up and let you see. You see how it blisters? But if you left the skins on, it would do much better. But I wasn't leaving the skins on them russets. But they're very tender. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now this is going to be seasoned to taste. And I am going to season it with my Cajun seasoning swamp mix. My swamp mix is not high in sodium, so I will be adding salt. I'm using Redmond salt, not much, just a pinch. A little bit of garlic. Well, a lot of garlic. I'm just about out of black pepper. I'm gonna have to go grind some more out in the sugar shack tomorrow. Now we're gonna put an Asian twist on it. So a little bit of liquid aminos. Coconut aminos would be great. Not much, guys, just a little bit, because remember, that's got salt in it too. A little bit of ginger. Not much. A little bit of olive oil, because what we're doing is we're making a paste. This is to taste too. We're going to add a little bit of sriracha. It's going to be more like a sweet heat, guys. Now, I will be basting this sauce throughout the cooking. Let's place our oranges all the way down. Perfect. I'm going to set this aside and let it just marinate and get happy. The oven is preheated to 425, and we're going to set our salmon in the oven. It's going to take 15 to 20 minutes because we're looking for an internal temperature in the thickest part at 145. About every 5 minutes, I'm going to go in and baste. Okay? Look at that beautiful baste. Now, we won't be using the rest of the base because we've touched the spoon to the raw fish. So every 5 minutes, it's going to cook 15 to 20 minutes, but we're going to temp check at the 15-minute mark, 145 in the thickest part of the salmon. There's the salmon, y'all. We're fixing our plates.
Sure look good, too.
Buddy wants to let y'all know something about the dry pour.
Okay, earlier we said gonna wet it down and then do it about every 30 minutes. It's so hot today till it was about every 10 minutes. And when I mean wet it down, you don't want to, you know how concrete, if any of y'all ever laid concrete before, you get it too wet, you're gonna get a gray film across the top of it. You want to wet it till it's got a good sheen on it. Walk away, go get you something to drink, come back. If it don't have a sheen on it, wet it again. Continuously keep getting it wet, so because it's going to start soaking it up like sponge, especially hot as it is, I tell you.
So you were doing it, you said
It was
about
rough.
every 5 minutes.
About every 5 to 10 minutes, I'd come back and it'd be dry. And I'd mist across. Now, I went from mist to the flat spray on that little old sprayer, but I wouldn't put no pressure on it. I just hold it up and spray it at a, at a distance until you can get a sheen across it and keep it that way. Now, I've done that all evening. I started every probably 5 to 10 minutes, and now I went back to about every 20, 30 minutes now. And it's pretty much set. The top cap's done set about what it's going to set. So to me now, I'm gonna keep a little moisture on it, but I'm not real concerned about soaking it down, because if it soaks it up when I put it on there, then I'm gonna keep putting it on there. But if it keeps, if it quits soaking it up and it starts just standing on top, then it's already set up enough that it's not going to absorb anymore. Don't worry though.
There's Buddy's plate.
It'll suck all the moisture out of the ground you can. So
right,
it'll all
guys.
turn out good. But now we got some supper.
Yeah, we got to eat, and like I said, I didn't get all the bones, but I got majority. But we both know to eat salmon starting at the inside going out, because there's that rib that has them bones. But if you like salmon, try the citrus recipe. It's really good. Or use lemons. You don't have to even Asian tweak it. You can do just salt and pepper, and when it's finished with a little olive oil, then you can put your little lemon juice on it. So there's various ways to cook salmon, but I wanted to bring some citrus in. Plus, we got like a whole bag of those little halos. Mm-hmm. They got to get eaten. So, but
There's one way I know how to eat it though.
How's that?
Let's just eat it all.
Yeah, just eat it all.
Just get it over with.
But I hope you enjoyed spending Sunday with us. Y'all been with us since 7:30 this morning, and it is now 6:40 in the evening. We're 40 minutes late on supper because we went back out there and he did that little mist again. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And we'll see you on the next one, our friends.